Welcome to Voices from the Bench, a dental laboratory podcast. Send us an email at info@voicesfromthebench.com or look for us on Facebook at Voices from the Bench.
Greetings and welcome to Voices from the Bench, live from the Eastern Conference of Dental Laboratories. My name is Elvis, and we are at episode number 85. So I'm wrapping up the last day here at the Eastern Conference of Dental Laboratories meeting in Concord, North Carolina. Unfortunately, Barb had some laboratory business to take care of, and she couldn't make it. I really needed her here to pull in some people to get some interviews. Still able to get a few, and some really good ones. So I'm looking forward to releasing those at a later date. But this meeting is amazing. What great content, what great speakers, what a great vibe. They've really done themselves a nice service here to the technicians in the area. I can't thank enough for the board and for Martha and everybody that invited us out. But I have a special treat for you today. We have some interviews I got back in Louisville at the Whitmix Digital Forum. I was able to convince Denture Dan Elfring to sit down and talk about his story. He talked about his time in the Air Force, working at the in-office lab, his excitement for Crystal Ultra, thank you, Digital Dental, and being a SUPER Master CDT. And then I was able to get, after some convincing, the only identical twin lab owners, Anita Cranford and Elise Holasek. Both CDTs, and they own a lab called Identical Dental Laboratories. They talk about how they started in the industry, worked separate, but then got together and brought it all under one roof. Join us again from the Whitmix Digital Forum with Dan, Anita, and Elise.
Is zirconia giving your lab a hard time on your full arch cases?
Yes, for me.
Have you experienced warping or breakage in your sintering oven?
Yes, for me again.
Have you ever had an arch return for adjustment and had to scrap it and start all over?
Yes. So, there's a better way.
Introducing Crystal Ultra Nano Ceramic by Digital Dental, the better alternative for full arch dentistry. A Crystal Ultra arch is 60% lighter than a zirconia arch, is easily adjusted chairside, and can be milled on a 1-to-1 basis with no centering required.
That saves you, 10 to 12 hours right there?
Not only is a Crystal Ultra arch better dentistry for patients, it's better for your lab as well. To learn more about the future of full arch dentistry, visit www.crystalultra.com/voices. Crystal Ultra, feel the difference. Voices from the Bench. The interview.
The reason why I hate this is I hate my sound.
Oh, yeah? I can turn you down.
Take my picture. That's
oh. You know, we're going to do it in NPR style, if that's okay. Today we're joined by Dan Elfring. Appreciate you coming.
I don't know about that. Yeah.
You got the new iPhone, huh? Is that your phone?
Yeah.
How do you like it?
I just picked it up Sunday, and I'm still getting used to it.
Yeah.
And I didn't get a very clean download. I downloaded or backed up on iTunes.
Yeah.
And when I restored, it started from my iCloud, so I lost all my apps. So now I'm either rebuilding it. I have to add each app that I had and go in.
Ugh.
I don't know why I didn't get a clean restore.
So obviously we're not talking about technology today because you're having a little trouble with the iPhone.
Hopefully this isn't on there. Weed that out.
We'll see. So we're here at very early in the morning on Saturday at Whitmix's Digital Forum. What is it, like not even 8 o'clock? 8:02. That's early. We are here with Dan Elfring?
Elfring.
Uh-huh. So it's Elfring. How are you, sir?
Very good.
Nice.
Excited to be here.
Awesome. So why are you here? You're not speaking.
No, I'm a learner.
Yeah? So what brought you to the Whitmix Digital Forum?
I like Whitmix.
Yeah?
I like bourbon. I like their 100-year anniversary.
Yeah.
Combine it with digital, which we are starting to get into.
Okay.
And I was in Atlanta last week for
Sure.
the
Yeah.
IDDS. So I took a week's vacation, and we just went from there. And my wife and I traveled to get here to, I like supporting WhipMix and learning. There's some things I need to learn. IDDS was great on the technology, but there's some lectures like Mark Williamson's going to actually go through a digital design of a denture.
Yeah.
I need that. So
I like this digital form because it seems so more detailed rather than like a broad. Every speaker, not only most of them are in a lab doing it every day,
right,
which is important because you don't need to hear the speaker that knows about it but doesn't do it, but they're in there every day doing it, and it's detailed. I like that.
Yep.
So tell me about yourself. How did you get into this industry?
So I joined in the Air Force.
Okay.
Took a battery of tests, and they said, here's the jobs you're available for. And dental technician, I started reading the job descriptions, fabricates, prosthetic appliance, blah, blah. And it just sounded good. So I chose that.
Did you have any idea what it was?
No, not at all. Chose that and went in delayed enlistment because I actually enlisted when I was a junior in high school and waited 9 months to get in.
Because you weren't old enough, or?
I was too young. I was a junior in high school. My best friend, his dad was an Air Force recruiter, and that's how I ended up.
Okay,
we were supposed to go in together, and anyway, I did, and he didn't.
Really interesting.
This is how I ended up there, and I just fell in love with it. It's just...
How long did you serve for?
28 years.
Wow. All with dental technology?
Well, all dental laboratory, and then when I was at Travis, which was probably one of my favorite assignments because of the things we were doing there.
Sure.
I was trained as a maxillofacial technician to make eyes and ears and noses and stuff. They also had a clinical investigation facility where I was there at the perfect time to get involved in a implant research project on pigs. So we had 12 pigs.
Yeah.
4 were control group, 4 got hyperbarics, 4 got radiation, and 4 got hyperbarics and radiation. And it was to study the effects of those things on implant osseointegration. So that was an exciting time. And then
interesting.
All of that activity and stuff, I won an award, Senior NCO of the Year for the Air Force. So then that got me promoted to the next grade, which was Senior Master Sergeant. And at the time, dental laboratory technicians, that career field kind of topped out at E7. So at E8, they moved me to Alaska to go run a dental clinic.
Oh.
So I was up there for 5.5 years and ran the dental clinic, and then that is where I got promoted to Chief Master Sergeant and had to move. And there was really only one Air Force laboratory chief slot, and that was at Peterson Air Force Base in Colorado. So that's where I came and spent 4 years and retired there out of Peterson.
Wow. So where'd you go after this?
So then I retired.
Yep.
I took a job in mental health as a director of operations and compliance.
So you got out of the dental field.
I did, because the last 10 years of my career, I didn't even really do any lab work. It was all administration, and so I wasn't doing it. And my neighbor told me about a job in this compliance organization because we dealt with medical regs and stuff. And so I didn't have a job lined up, so I took this job, but it wasn't a good fit at all for me. And so I resigned from that after about 9 months, and then I was at home making birdhouses and just biding my time.
Tinkering,
and my wife's like, you need to find a job, So I was down at Peterson, at where I retired from, and ran into a guy I knew, Mike Cumby, and he was telling me about a prosthodontist who has opened up a clinic right by my house. It's a half a mile from my house. And he told me about it. He had actually got a job with them, and he said they were looking for a removable guy. Well, in the military, we didn't do a lot of removable, especially dentures.
Sure.
The just patient population doesn't need dentures.
Younger, yeah.
So I said, man, I don't know anything about dentures. He said, well, I think he's willing to train. So I went home, told my wife about it. She said, yeah, go down there and talk to him. So I went and talked to him and had a real nice interview. And he told me to come back with a resume. And then the next night he said, come back with your wife. And so him and the doctor and his wife interviewed my wife, which she was surprised. Why am I going down here? But it worked out great, and that was Dr. Pickle, and I've been with him the last 13 years.
You're still with him?
Still with him.
I didn't know you worked in a clinical lab.
In-house laboratory technician.
I had no idea. Do you only do that clinic's work, or do you?
Correct. Yep. I don't do any outside work.
Really? Fascinating. You've moved into removables, but that's not what you did in the Air Force.
Not at all. I mean, but that is how I got into this. Is when I got the job. I mean, they had a success unit for injecting dentures. E-clips. Wow. I don't know anything about any of these. Dr. Pickle had a friend who worked for Dentsupply because he was doing some teaching with Dentsupply. So they brought up Billy Oye from Dentsupply, and he spent 2 days with me showing me how it worked. And so I started going to courses. I'd go to all the best courses I could find, like Rob Cryer, just all the top people of any denture course, Chicago. And, man, the more I learned, the more I loved it, the more I realized I didn't know.
Yep.
So I go to more courses, and fortunately, I could do those things. So that's how I got into it, and the more I learned, the more it just became a passion.
Nice.
I just love this stuff, and it's Denture Dan just has such a nice ring to it.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up. How did that come about?
I don't know. It just,
you don't know?
Just sounds good.
Yeah? Did you come up with it yourself, or did somebody call you Denture Dan?
I don't.
You don't know?
I don't know.
It's funny.
Can't think back, but it just I've just been rolling with it. And
yeah. So what processes do you use in your clinical lab now? Are you IVO basing? Are you
IVO base? Most of what we do is hybrid stuff.
Okay.
My doctor does all the surgery and then the restorative, and we do it all in-house.
So you do the actual conversion and everything.
Conversion, right. I see all the patients. I get to work with every patient I deal with.
Wow.
So it's so fortunate to be able
cool.
to do smile designs on patients and work with them and see it and make adjustments right there or have them back, and just love it. I mean, for me, it's the perfect. I'm not, a production kind of technician.
Sure.
I like to sit and do the best work I can, and fortunately my doctor allows me to do that, lets me buy whatever materials, the best teeth. And last year at IDDS is when we bought a printer, a scanner. Within the last month we bought an intraoral scanner, another printer. So we're just starting to get into the digital.
Yeah. What are you printing?
Not much.
Not much?
And the reason is I want the best product I can produce. And for printing dentures, the resin just isn't I can do a far superior product IVO basing it with carded teeth. And so until the resin gets there, or I bought everyone will know the name, a printer that I can't get resin for. So obviously I haven't printed those, but we've done some implant temporaries, some splints, some of those things, and some cast work. But we're not doing much now. But with the intraoral scanner, we might do more printing the casts.
The models,
The models. Well, you know the difference between a cast and a model, don't you?
No.
So a cast is a true, accurate representation of the object. A model could be a 3D model. It could be different sizes, like a scaled-down model.
Oh, so cast is 100% accurate.
Right.
I get you.
Yeah.
And here I am just telling everyone we pour up models.
No.
But we don't.
We don't. We pour casts.
Yes, makes sense. Makes sense. You mentioned earlier that you're checking out Crystal Ultra.
Mm-hmm.
What's exciting to you about that?
I like it because...
Is your doctor excited for it?
I think so.
Okay.
Actually, I told him about it because after listening to the podcast is where I heard about it. Then I started looking into it, and then I ran into a few people who are using it or have heard about it also, and it just sounds exciting because it's more forgiving than zirconia.
Yeah.
Zirconia on zirconia is just like two glass balls.
Yeah,
I'm just not a fan.
Do you guys do those? Full arch?
Not many.
Yeah? Well, I'm not a fan of them.
Not at all. I like how the ceramic work or the tissue seems to always be the problem on zirconia, getting the pink to look good. But I've seen some models, because they're not true. They're just a model, that somebody. So, and they look really nice. The Trilor is, high performance polymer material.
Have you worked with that before?
I have some discs of it. Well, not disc arches from Preet that we're going to use as needed for certain cases, but I haven't actually done one yet. We want to start getting into that because we do a lot of hybrid with titanium bar and wrapped acrylic, and those are wearing out, and some patients need maybe a better long-term solution, and now with better materials, let's go there.
Absolutely.
Instead of replacing it 4 or 5 years, maybe we can get, those things sound like they last 15, 20 years.
Well, you're dependent on the acrylic and the denture teeth when it comes to fixed hybrids. This nano ceramic sounds like it's a better deal.
It does. I like it so far.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to see how it
I liked,
turns out.
pectin with bonded ceramic crowns, but we just haven't been able to find the right patient to meet our needs for that. So
that sounds like a lot of work, though. The individual crowns on each individual one. That's hefty.
At some point, it sounded like it would be really fun because you could use more skills than just setting denture teeth and processing. I mean, I've done this enough to where I'm ready for a new challenge, maybe.
Yeah, no, sure.
And
absolutely.
Maybe the Crystal Ultra. I can't wait to do one. We're fortunate in that the technician who does our fixed work actually has a digital dental mill. Because, as you learned, digital dental makes all the mills in the U.S.
Those things are hefty mills, man.
Our guy has them, and right here in town, and he comes and picks up our cases, and so I'm fortunate I can have him do one. In fact, we send an upper and lower case.
Oh, you're doing a double.
Double.
Good way to start.
Well, like he said, you send them the cases they get are usually someone's most difficult cases. And if that turns out well, they got a customer for life. So we're going to test that theory.
Yeah, you got to love it when people start with uppers and lowers at the same. So you're the only technician there?
There's 2 of us.
Oh, okay.
There's 2 of us.
What is he? How do you guys split the work?
We work very well together. We just comes in, and Wes Schlau's the other guy. He's Air Force 2.
Oh, okay.
He actually worked.
Is your doctor Air Force? Is that what
No,
it is?
not at all.
Not keeping it close in the family?
No, but Colorado Springs has a lot of military people. So he actually did our fixed work. So there was 2 techs. Remember I told you Mike Cumby was hired to be the fixed tech. Well, he didn't actually start. He did something else. But Wes ended up being a fixed tech, and I did the removable. Well, then his wife wanted him to move to Texas, back to Baytown, Houston area. So he went there for, I don't know, it was like 6 years, 5, 6 years, and they didn't like it as well as they thought they were, and the family issues, and so they were looking to come back. It's too busy for just one tech, so we trained a dental assistant to do a lot of the model work, the mountings, the base, all that. And we trained that assistant to do that work. Well, then he took a job at Clear Choice in Minneapolis. And so Wes had an opportunity to come back. And so now it's the 2 of us. So we just, it's nothing rocket science.
Yeah.
It's, if you go see a patient and then you own them and
you
work with it. Or
so you guys both work with one patient. You guys don't?
Kind of.
Yeah.
We try to do that. So as we start a case, it depends on the complexity. If it's something I want, then I'll take it. And if it's a difficult patient, maybe I'll give it to Wes.
Pass it off.
No,
you guys ever rock paper scissors for a patient?
No, that'd be a good idea. But it just works so well. We work very well together. So everything.
What's important since there's only two of you?
Yeah,
you got to get along.
Yeah.
So what's next for you?
Well, I'm getting into the digital.
Yeah. What's your next big digital?
So the doc and the two of us went to IDT.
Yep.
And afterwards we went out to dinner, and we're just talking about what we learned and how we can use it, how can we make the practice better. And well, now he's starting to talk milling. So
Yowzer.
Now milling I could get into. I could get behind, a milled denture or a milled, because it's high quality.
Yeah, it starts
the printing, the resin isn't there for long-term use for me.
Yeah.
But milling, just Crystal Ultra is milled, A lot of these dentures that we see, a milled denture, let's just say a milled denture I could really get behind and support.
I think at this point they are a better denture that's digitally fabricated. Mm-hmm. I think 3D printing is going to take it over eventually.
As the resins improve.
Yeah.
Dentsply's high-performance resin looks good. The resin looks good. Now, this is to me, but I'm not a fan of the IPN tooth.
Mm-hmm. I hear that a lot.
And how it gets bonded in. Like I said, most of our stuff is hybrid stuff. I don't see, if you were to be able to print that and bond on those teeth, almost a facing, that it would hold up.
Well, how do you get the bar in there if you're printing it or even milling it?
Well, you would probably
cold cure around it. That doesn't make sense.
No, I don't know.
Yeah,
Avident's doing something like that.
Are they? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We got to get somebody on here to talk about that because I don't understand how that process works.
They probably won't tell you. It's proprietary.
Yeah.
But you could mill, a channel for the bar and then put the bar in. I don't know.
Yeah, interesting.
Or do a tissue-borne.
Montreal bar, so it sticks out. Boom.
Yeah. I don't know.
So what mill are you guys looking at? Or
the Ivoclar is the one that we were looking at.
The P7 or something? Or
P7.
Yeah. Those things are hefty mills.
Yeah. And we really don't have room for it. In our renovation, we actually got rid of some space next door for the pediatric office. Mm-hmm. They needed more, and we had room that we weren't using.
Take it from the lab
appropriately. So, but time will tell.
Sure.
I don't know if we'll go there or not.
Sure.
And maybe we'll go to a smaller mill. I mean, Roland is here. That little mill looks good.
Digital Dental.
Those are monsters, though.
Are they that big?
Oh yeah.
I really have not physically seen one.
Yeah.
I know they're hefty and they're robust, but I don't know their size.
Which is what they're designed to do. They don't vibrate.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
We'll just outsource that part. I don't know.
Yeah. It's a big step. It's an expensive big step.
But there's plenty to learn. This industry is always changing, always progressing, and rapidly.
Oh, absolutely.
In the digital arena. So trying to keep up with it is the biggest challenge.
It is, but you seem to go everywhere.
I like it.
And your doctor encourages this, I hope.
A lot of it's my vacation time.
Is it?
My wife gets tired of me. Our vacations are between home and, a dental meeting and back. And so, I mean, it's worked. But
no, I mean, I'm the same way. I take a lot of vacation days just to come to these kind of things because I like it.
Right? That's where I'm at.
I don't know how crazy we are, but I could be sitting on a beach right now, but I'm not.
When are you going to retire? I hear that a lot. It's like, I don't know. I don't think about it.
Why?
I'm too young to sit and make more birdhouses.
Renovate your house again.
Yeah, we're already on 2 and 3 times doing certain rooms. So
yeah, you guys are gutting that house like there's nobody business.
We're slowing down on that part. I think now then she'll want to move. Start over. That's not funny,
hilarious.
Elvis. That's the truth.
Well, Dan, I always enjoy seeing you at these meetings. You're a phenomenal technician.
Oh, no.
I had no idea that you were locked into one doctor. I thought you were just begging it out for the world.
Oh, no.
That's funny.
I can only, like I said, I'm not a production technician.
Yeah.
I'm too slow to work for too many
Really?
people.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Well, I appreciate you sitting down with me.
No, this has been
Great to see
great.
you.
I mean, I've listened to the podcast I was a latecomer. I heard about it, but had a hard time finding out how to get to it. And then once I did get onto it, I started listening to it at work, you know, and really enjoy them. I learned
appreciate that.
so much, and it's like just fascinating. That's why I was like, I have nothing to offer.
Sure you do.
Like some of these people, you know, that are so educational.
Everybody's got a story, man.
Everybody
And
has
it's
a
great.
story.
And it's great. And that's what I always say about this podcast. It's the most rewarding thing I've ever done, but it's also the easiest because everybody's got something to say.
But I hate talking about myself. That's one thing you'll know.
You could talk about somebody else.
I love talking about other people. I like learning from other people
Yep.
and their stories, but I
Absolutely.
don't like talking about my story.
Well, now you're on it. So.
Yeah. That's
You
it.
going to be at Lab Day East?
No.
No.
That's the only one I haven't been to. I've been to West and Chicago.
Yeah.
But, no.
Well, we'll
Too
have,
many. I mean,
It's a lot. This time of the year is very busy. Very busy.
I'm a CDT examiner, so
Oh,
I
yeah.
have 2 exams coming up, and that keeps me busy part-time too,
Sure.
which is really nice. I enjoy those 3 or 4 exams a year.
Yeah.
That's exciting. I love going into a laboratory like Glidewell, you know, and getting a tour of it and seeing it, and just Row Dental or Derby Dental.
Oh,
and
you
Drake.
get to see some great
See 'em
labs.
all, you know, and you watch people and the materials they use and how they set up their lab. I mean,
Yeah.
there's just you just walk around and you see things and pick up. And I pick up so much from just observing.
Oh, sure. Everyday labs. Yeah.
Doesn't matter what it is, you know. It's how they set it up, how they use, put their knives on the wall with a magnetic strip,
Yeah.
or you know, just anything.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to someday like take a month off and just tour all the great labs. I'd love to
Yeah.
see them
Yeah.
eventually, and that's a great thing that you get to do.
If
that.
you're a one-man lab and you sit there and that's all you see, and even if you go to dental meetings, you're not going to see how people organize their labs.
Sure, you don't
There's so
see,
much
yeah.
value in seeing.
Yeah, no
things
one's
like
no one's
that.
in here talking about the little stuff, you know.
Yeah, I've had fortunate some friends invited me to spend a weekend with them, and going to spend a weekend working with them in their lab, I can learn more than in a course for 2 days, 3
Sure.
days, because
It's interesting.
you know we're one day side by side, just how they do things.
And you just pick up those little nuances. It was like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Some great techs out there, and you know the removable techs that I've met just seem so open and warm and willing to help. Where you know, like when I was in the military in Ceramus, you know, Ceramus always wanted to protect close hold
Yeah.
what they're doing, how they're doing it.
So
'cause,
true.
And then I came from kind of that culture to the removable, where everybody's just, hey, no, this is what I use, how I do it. It's like, man, it's just so refreshing. And
Yeah, I've noticed that too. With fixed, it's more of in larger labs, it's more of a production line. With removables, everybody does everything. And I think they enjoy that change of what they do on a daily basis, so they're willing to share it with other people.
yeah,
Interesting.
it sure suits my lifestyle. I mean, it's what I like to do. So
Yeah.
it's been a good fit.
I hear you have every CDT that there is. Is that true?
Yes, I'm certified in all 6 specialties.
What was your first one?
Crown and Bridge.
Did
I was
you-
in the Air Force and got the Crown and Bridge. And then that's the only one I did the whole time I was in. When I got out
Yeah.
and started working for Dr. Pickle doing dentures, I thought, hey, I should get a denture certification.
Yeah, why not?
So I called up NBC to find out where the next exam was. And they said, have you ever thought about being an examiner? And I said, well, actually I have. We used to host them at Peterson. And I thought, that looks like a neat thing to do. So I applied and became an examiner, and then got the denture one, and then I was doing the implant. So I said, maybe I'll do the implant one. And so then I got the implant.
So you even have the ortho?
Ortho,
Wow.
and I don't. Ortho and probably ceramics may have been the hardest because I don't do a lot of it. So I practiced every weekend, did a full exam, did everything you're supposed to do for 4 weekends in a row, practicing, and getting better at bending wires. And, so
you're a master
CDT. But you need 5 to become a master.
Yep.
But I think there's like 10 of us that have all 6.
All 6?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, it's just a personal goal, It just after you start and then you see, well, geez, why not do the next one and why not do this one?
Yeah.
I was fortunate enough to do some RPD work in Germany at a area dental lab, working under a lady who is very well known in the military, and got some good training. So the RPD one wasn't too bad because I had done that. But like I said, ortho, I haven't done a lot of ortho. I didn't even know what a lot of those clasps and everything were, So it was just practice. Yeah. Anything's possible if you practice.
Oh, absolutely.
That's why I'd say to anybody challenging the exam is anyone who wants to practice and do it, it's certainly achievable. Because I'm not anything special as far as a technician, but maybe more determined and more passionate than
That's what it
most,
takes
so.
some of the time. Sometimes it's more passion than skill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In my case, that's true. It's all passion.
If you could give any advice to anyone wanting to become a CDT, what would it be?
You have to study for the comprehensive and the written specialty, and then, again, practice. Figure out what the exam is. They tell you exactly what you need to do.
Yeah.
Practice it. Go in on a Saturday morning, sit down, go through timing, and time management is the biggest thing. Time management. Know what step you're going to do, maybe even write it down so that you can look. See how long it takes you to do each step. See at the end of 5 hours and 15 minutes where you're at and where you need to speed up.
Nice.
But it's all time management.
Nice. Well, they do a mentor program now where you can actually go on the NBC website and find someone willing to help you. Denture Dan.
Denture Dan.
Appreciate it, sir.
You
Thanks
bet.
for coming in.
Elvis, keep up the good work.
I
love
appreciate it. We will.
All right.
Thanks.
Just don't try to say my last name because you'll know.
Oh, I'm terrible. What is it?
Holasek. Elise Holasek.
Elise Holasek.
Holasek.
Holasek. Elise Holasek and Anita Cranford.
Yes.
Yes. Are here at the Digital Forum from Whitmix. You guys are from Texas, right?
Yes, we're from Lubbock, Texas.
I was going to say, we saw you at the DLAT meeting.
Yes.
And you guys, we're audio, so nobody knows that you guys are twins.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And your name of your lab is?
Identical Dental Lab.
Where'd you come up with that name?
We are identical twins.
That's awesome. So tell me the story. How'd this all come about? How do you guys own a lab?
Okay, so back in 1990, we were 17. Elise started working at a Crown and Bridge Dental Lab in Lubbock.
Yeah.
Hired on to do pickup and delivery. And
that was
of
your
course,
first job.
Yes. Yeah, and during your downtime, you start learning other things in the lab and all of that. And there was a removable lab that was also hiring a driver, and so she got me the job over there, and so I started driving for them, and so we would both kind of go out on our little delivery routes in the morning. And
for competing labs?
Well, no, they were. So one was Crown and Bridge, and one was removable.
Okay,
and
so
they worked together and advertised as a full service lab, and
interesting,
and worked in kind of some of the surrounding towns and all of that, and so.
So wait a minute, they let 17-year-old.
17, 18, where
Wow.
Yes,
Yes. So I was 18 when I started. She started, and it was right after we graduated and all that. So we started doing that, working in the lab, just doing little things here and there.
Sure.
And then I moved to the Fort Worth area and got a job at this awesome dental lab that for working for Nancy Johnson from Crown Kingdom Dental Lab.
Amazing person.
Yeah, she was just
Crown
Kingdom Dental Lab.
That. Yeah.
And then within about 6 weeks, Elise moved to that area too. Came to work at the same dental lab, and
still delivering.
No, we were just doing working in the lab. I was since that was my first time working in the Crown and Bridge Dental Lab. I started doing model work because I'd done models before, and then waxing. And she was doing porcelain by that time, so she was a ceramist there, and we just learned so much from her.
Yeah.
She taught us everything. We wish we could go back and learn more.
Yeah.
She was just a great teacher.
You're working there. So at what point do you realize?
Well, so after probably about 5.5 years or so, I moved to Albuquerque and worked for a dental lab there. Really great guy, John Nelson.
Yeah.
And worked there for a while. And during that time, Elise moved to the Oklahoma City area and started working at a dental lab there. And we always thought, hey, if we get back in the same state, that we could open up a lab together.
Yeah.
And so finally we did.
So you came back to Texas.
By that time she was in Oklahoma City. And so we decided that we were going to open up a lab there, and we worked for a dental lab in Norman, Oklahoma for a while we started our own, and we went and told them, hey, we wanted to do this. And at first they were just they weren't so sure about us trying to open up our own lab while we still worked there.
Sure.
But they allowed us to, and all that, and it just worked out really great.
So when you started your lab, was it just you two working in it?
It was just us two.
Yeah.
Was it out of the garage type situation?
Sort of out of our homes. We both have areas at our homes that we still work.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. And we rented a little location and all of that. And then she worked at home quite a bit. Took her part home with having more children, young kids.
Oh, yeah.
And stuff. At one point,
put the baby down, start the oven,
yes,
that kind of thing.
Yeah, they're just right there.
Oh,
and at one point, she had 2 employees working with her at her house.
Really?
I think we finally had to get a bigger space so we could all kind of get back into one place.
So you found a location where you'd actually the lab was
Yeah.
physically located.
Yes.
And at that point, you had how many employees?
Well,
We had each two working with us, so I kind of took care of models, waxing, metal finishing, pressing, that kind of stuff. And I was just kind of, I did all the quality control and that kind of stuff. And then Elise took care of the everything, involved with the porcelain.
Little dog. This is great podcast material. That's adorable.
We have dogs at our lab.
Yay! We love dogs.
Yes, we
have
do.
2 wine runners come every day, and then Elise has a shepherd that comes some days.
Wow.
And
big
so,
dogs. Nice.
They're they hang out there and keep everybody happy and all that.
So you're in charge of the waxing, the metal finishing, all that up into ceramics, and that's where you come into play?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
So when you started, was it all mostly the analog casting,
Oh, yes.
pressing?
Yes.
Are you still doing it that
Oh,
method?
yes. We do both. We do a lot of digital as well.
Yeah.
But we still do a lot of things the analog way. We still cast. We do a lot of PFMs.
Do you still do a lot of PFMs?
We do gold.
Yes.
Gold isn't always my favorite, but it's just, one of the dirty jobs that you do.
Do you have a mill? Do you get into
Yep.
that?
Yep. We have 2 mills. We have the Sega printer as well.
Nice.
And so we do
What are
some
you
printing.
printing?
We print a lot of models. Primarily,
Yep.
that's why we got it, was
Sure.
to print models and stuff. So
Okay. How many employees do you have now? How big are you?
I think we have 7.
Nice.
Full time and yeah.
So who's doing sales? Who's doing the promotion? Or
Oh, we
anything?
don't really do anything.
No, it's all word
like
of
that.
mouth?
Yeah, it's all pretty much word of mouth. I'd say these days we're getting more and more anteriors and implant cases. We do some of the all-on-4 implant cases.
Do you? Do you guys
As
do
well.
conversions? And
Yep, we do some conversions.
Who does the conversions?
I do.
Do you really?
Yes.
Do you like it?
Yeah, I do like it. It was a little
Yeah.
nerve-wracking in the beginning.
Sure.
But we work with some really good surgeons, and they're patient and all of that. And so, every time we go to stuff, it's picking up little bits of information of how other people do it and trying to use that and make it better and easier and all of that.
Yeah.
And so it's not so bad anymore.
Yeah.
But so we do a little bit of removable as well.
When did you start doing removable?
Probably 3 or 4 years ago.
3 or 4 years ago. Which one of you does the removable, or do you have somebody else that does it?
I do that mostly.
So you've learned removable only in your own lab, or did you learn it at another lab you were at?
No. I started at the Denture lab, in the beginning, and
Well, you
so I
drove.
learned some.
Yeah.
But you get in there and you do investing and you do some waxing and model work and all of that kind of stuff, and so you kind of learn that. But I still have so much to learn, I feel like, and we do
Sure.
have someone that comes in and sets teeth sometimes to help us. We are getting more and more removable stuff.
Yeah.
And so, but we're still primarily Crown and Bridge, and we just do a lot of that and implant work. So
Nice. So what's next for you guys? Are you looking to still grow? Do you want to be a bigger lab? Do you like?
we definitely like our size. I think that as you as you get bigger, it's harder to keep the control of the quality.
Yeah.
And that's
really
it is.
important.
That's
it
the
is.
most
And
important
unless
thing.
you really enjoy HR,
Yeah.
it comes with it.
Well, right, exactly. And I think that we're kind of, like I said, we're really comfortable where we are right now. We're able to, we check every step along the way just to make sure that it's done the way that we want it done, because our doctors expect consistency.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's kind of one of the things that we're known for is consistency and all of that. And that's, and quality. And so that's just kind of our goal.
Are you guys CDTs? Mm-hmm. Good.
Yes.
Yes.
Good. What are you?
Yes.
CDTs in Crown and Bridge?
I'm in Crown and Bridge, and Elise
Ceramics?
is in ceramics.
Nice. How long
Yes.
ago did you guys get your CDTs?
Well, we were thinking about that. I got mine, it might be close to 18 years ago.
Wow.
And Elise just got hers.
I
yeah.
just got mine
I don't look old
recently.
enough to have these numbers, but yeah.
We've been in the business for like 29 years, I think.
No kidding.
For a long
Yeah,
time.
since 1990.
Are you guys the only twin-owned lab? Do you know that?
Well, we haven't ran into, I don't think
No?
we've ran into any more twins.
Interesting.
So,
Something to say.
yeah. We have fun together and we work together. I mean,
Yeah, we
we
do.
have our moments like, anybody.
Anybody,
And
yeah.
but we enjoy it.
Yeah. So why are you guys here at the WhipMix Digital Forum? Why did you guys come all the way up here from?
Well, we always like coming to WhipMix
Yeah.
and all of that. Just always to learn. There's always more to learn and all that. Nothing really in particular.
Yeah.
But we just wanted to learn a little more.
Soak in as
It's
much
always
knowledge
important.
as
Yes.
possible.
And this kind of format's nice.
Yes.
I like it. It's not
It's
like a lab day
comfortable, right.
huge. It's comfortable. It's more intimate.
Right.
I really enjoy the digital aspect of it because that's where you got to go.
Right.
So
Right.
are you guys looking for any more equipment or?
Not right now.
No?
We pretty much have everything we need right now.
Sure.
It's just a matter of making use of everything. There's so many more options, so many more possibilities that we can do with what we have. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Utilizing what you already have is sometimes forgotten.
Yes.
Because people like to buy new toys.
Yes. 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 Exactly.
There's
Yeah,
always
Yeah.
it's
toys.
like I want that new mill, but I'm only using mine.
Yeah. It's not
30% of
running
the
all the time.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, and
Exactly.
I think a lot of people fall for that. So
Right.
it's smart to utilize it. Well, thanks so much for coming
you're
on. This
welcome.
is
Thank
great.
you.
I appreciate. I know you
welcome.
guys were nervous. It's
Yes.
awesome. It's super easy.
Yes.
Meeting you in Texas was a highlight, and
Yeah.
hopefully we'll get to see you again.
Yeah, we'll be
next
there.
year. Yeah,
We'll be
cool.
there.
Hopefully
Yeah.
we will too.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
thank you so
Sounds
much.
great.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Not many technologies have created the excitement that Digital Dentures has in just the past year or so. WhipMix has certainly felt the excitement and put together a popular digital denture system that's both easy and accurate. The system consists of a validated process using Denture resins, which is the first FDA-cleared printed denture material, and a SIGA 3D printer, and the Uvatron UV curing light. These three elements together is fast, easy, and ensures the dentist and the patient of a reliable, predictable fit. The Denture material's physical properties and biocompatibilities have passed FDA requirements and are similar to conventional denture bases and acrylic teeth. Add to that the accuracy and speed of 3D printing with an SIGA printer and the convenience of curing with a UV light, and you have a very desirable denture material. The try-in resin is ivory colored. The tooth material is available in Vita A1, A2, A3, A3.5, B1, and B2 shades. And the denture base material comes in original pink, light pink, reddish pink, and dark pink shades. If you've been thinking of introducing a digital denture product into your laboratory's offerings, WhipMix can help you do that easily, effectively, and with a profit. Watch for one of the company's hands-on digital denture participation courses or learn more about the system at whipmix.com. Thanks for your support, WhipMix.
So we can't thank enough, the three of them, for sitting down with me at the WhipMix Digital Forum. We love hearing all the unique stories that everyone in our industry has. I can't imagine hiring a 17-year-old delivery driver and then having them turn into a lab owner. What a great story, and I can't thank them enough. We also want to give out a big thanks to everyone who got a shirt or a hoodie in our last sale. We raised well over $100 for the Foundation of Dental Laboratory Technology, and every little bit helps, and it all adds up. This is the season for giving, So head over to dentallabfoundation.org to learn more and to give back to the greatest industry there is. Now, unfortunately, Barb and I don't have any travels for a while. The next event we have is Visions 21. That's going to be in Las Vegas, January 16th to the 18th. This is a great meeting, and the one that will ring in Barb as president of the NADL. We have an upcoming episode featuring some of the speakers that will be there, but it is never too early to register and to make your plans for Vegas in January. Have I mentioned Vegas in January? Head over to this episode's show notes for a link for more information and to register. And if you work at or own a lab and have never attended the Visions 21 meeting, we have a special Voices from the Bench deal for you. Contact the National Association of Dental Laboratories by phone at 1-800-950-1150 or by email at meetings@nadl.org and tell them you heard about the Visions 21 meeting on Voices from the Bench, and you'll get a special rate that is almost $200 off the regular attendee price. It's only $400 to attend this exceptional business meeting. And this deal is for newbies only. So don't miss this great event, and don't miss the upcoming episode where we talk to a few of the speakers that will be there. As always, we'd like to thank our sponsors, Digital Dental and Whitmix, for all that they've done, and we appreciate their support. All right, everybody, I got a few more interviews to get, and I'm going to wrap it up here at the Eastern Conference of Dental Laboratories. Hopefully Barb will be back. We'll talk to you next week. Have a good one.